So here is the video about Morocco, one of my favorite countries. I've been there 3 times, and now I would like to share with you a few facts which is hardly to find in Google, only from people who've been there. So I want to share with you that the national costume of Morocco is jalaba, and there is a dress for special occasions which is called kaftan or takchita. Usually kaftan is one of those fancy dresses, and takchita is the one which consists of 3 items. So this is the dress, the underdress, and the upper part of the dress. Unfortunately, the education in Morocco is quite low. Mainly men, those people who have advantage to educate themselves, and usually women, they are not well educated, especially in quite conservative and small places, villages. Usually women, they just cancel going to school, to the high school, and they just waiting for their parents to find them a husband, and that's all. So this is the end of the education for a lot of women in Morocco. But fortunately, nowadays there are a lot of women, progressive, who try to find the way to educate themselves, try to get as much knowledge as possible, especially in the bigger cities. And many of American women, they are trying to go overseas to get the new experience, to get the empowerment and share it with their fellows. When American would like to tell you something like "I love you," so they could say something like "I love you from the bottom of my liver." For example, if we say usually that I love you, we can say something like "you are my heart," because the heart is like one of the most important thing in our body. But Moroccans, they say "I love you from the bottom of my liver." And when I asked why it is liver, like usually in the world people say "you are my heart." When we are talking about love, we are thinking about the heart, because the heart is the only one in our body. We cannot live without the heart. And Moroccans, they say, okay, but we also have just one liver. We cannot live without liver, right? And yeah, I agreed with this. Weddings. This is interesting that due to the religious issues, during the wedding, they have 2 separate halls. One for the men only, and the other one is for women. And usually they have mainly photographers who are men, and unfortunately women, they do not get a lot of photos from the wedding, because man photographer cannot go into the women's room. So if you would like to be a women photographer in Morocco, so probably you might get a lot of job, because of course women, they also want to get nice professional photos. But this is quite interesting, right? When the bride and the groom, they are separated during their wedding, and they're celebrating their one of the most special days separately. That's strange, no? Yeah, in Morocco, man could have not only one wife. He could have 1, 2, 3, 4, but there is one thing, that if you would like to get another wife, first of all, you need to ask your first wife if she's okay with this. If she's okay, then all right, you can have a second wife. But the other thing is that you need to treat your first and a second wife equally. So if a first wife has a golden ring with a diamond, you need to buy the same one to the second wife. If the first wife has a 2-storied house, so the second wife should have the same. If you can afford this, so alright, you can have 2 wives. If you would like to have a third wife, you need to ask a permission from first and the second wife. If they're okay, and you can do the same thing to the third wife, like buy all the stuff that you buy for your first and second wife, so treat them equally, then you have the opportunity to get your third wife. And so the same with the fourth and fifth, so you understand this. The official languages of Morocco is Arabic, French, and also they have their ancient language, which called Amazigh. Many people, they could speak this language, but they cannot write this language. This language has special characters, special symbols, and usually people don't know how to write them. Taxi. There is a very interesting fact about the taxi. All the taxis, they have their own area of working. So, for example, if you are a taxi driver in Casablanca, that means you are a taxi driver in Casablanca, and you cannot give a ride to your passenger from Casablanca to Rabat or something like this. You can only you can ride your passenger to the end of the region of this area where you have the permission to drive, and there would be such kind of parking lot for taxis where your passenger could switch to another cab and go to another part of Morocco. Why this is like that? People say that in the past times where only the horses were the transport of Morocco, and when the king decided to switch from the horses to the cars, so the king afforded the cars to those drivers who were driving the horses, but they still have this permission only to ride in the specific area, and they cannot go beyond this area, because in this case they would get the earning, get the salary from the other drivers who could operate in the other area. Did you know that one of the most useful oil, which is argan oil, is made in Morocco? So argan oil is one of the oils which treat your hair, your skin, and you can find it in Morocco, very special, very fresh, and probably the high quality, because this tree, argan tree, is growth here. In Morocco, there are a lot of world-known films and serials were made here. One of them is Clone. This is the serial which my grandmother used to watch, and that was interesting that many of women aged the same like me, they also watch this series. Because they like the background, they like the cities, they like the streets, which are the streets of Morocco, especially the city of Fez. Gladiator, Asterix and Obelix, Game of Thrones, third season, and one of these episodes was filmed in so-called Eid bin Haddou. A very nice, looks like a sandy castle close to the desert, near the Ouarzazet. In Morocco, usually people eat with their hands. So when I first came to Morocco and we were invited to have the dinner, to have the lunch, and we got our meat, we got our side salad and stuff, and we were waiting for the forks and knives, and when other people they started to eat, we were confused and said, where are our forks? And the other people, do you need a fork? Oh, sorry, we don't know, because usually in Morocco people eat with their hands, and that is the other interesting thing, that usually the main dish is served in one big plate, and you could take your food from this plate with your hands. And Moroccan people say that this is the way they trust to other people, they trust to their guests, so they trust you, so the trust is so big that they could just eat together with you from the same plate with their hands. Did you know that the Grand Market, the big market in Marrakech, this is one of the most top places for tourists in the world. So in 2015, this market, bazaar, took one of the first places as a tourist attraction. That is interesting, that it's harder to find the prices here. Usually you can just bargain with the sellers. So you come to the market and you ask how much is this takchita, for example, and they say how much you would like to pay for it, and then it starts. So usually you can say, for example, I would like to pay $100. They say, oh, it's $200, but later you can buy the thing for $50 only. You just need to play this game. They adore this game. And of course, if you are a tourist and you are traveling without a companion who is Moroccan, so probably you would pay way bigger price. This is interesting that Morocco is the place where you can find different colors of the cities. So if you would like to see the red city, this is Marrakech. If you would like to see the blue city, this is Chefchaouen. There is a lovely story about the wife of King of Morocco, Mohammed VI. He found his wife, his princess, whose name is Lala Salma, at the university. So when the king had a speech before the graduates, in front of the graduates, he noticed this beautiful woman with the red head, with red hair, and he fell in love with her. So she's this wonderful, beautiful princess of Morocco, with whom the king fell in love from the university. So that's lovely, his stories about Morocco. If you would like to add something, you are welcome to do it in the comments. And yeah, I just want to point that this is my story, this is my opinion, and of course there are much more to tell about Morocco, but I really encourage you to go to this place and to observe all these wonderful places, wonderful castles, wonderful architecture by your own eyes. So welcome to Morocco, I would say, and welcome to my other videos.